Hello everybody! Is this working this time? We didn't get it wrong. Sorry iOS Si. I had a bit of connectivity problems. It was showing up, everything was red for a minute. Just like my shirt. That's the wrong one. Hello everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How are we all? Everybody happy out there? Tired? I'm sorry to hear that Ekin's on track. I too am tired. I was up very late last night, editing videos. What are we doing today, guys? We are testing Xpress Colour. Finished your Angron yesterday, that's awesome. We're just waiting a few minutes to see, give people a chance to join. Because, you know, YouTube sends its notifications out late. Yeah, no, last night I was editing up the Augustus Lieutenant. Editing that video. And I was editing my classic versus contrast video for the heavy intercessors. So I got that all done. I had to get the bases primed for today. Had to schedule tonight's stream, so I had to do a little photo shoot of myself pulling funny faces. I think I picked a good one because, you know, YouTube algorithm and all that. Hello, Ewan. Good afternoon, Mark. Yes, we're doing afternoon streams. I like the idea of doing these in the day. I really enjoyed the last one. So we're going to do a few more of these, I think. The real question is, will they reactivate? We'll test it. And we'll test it in exactly the same way. A little blob of Corax white. And just some medium. Their own medium as well. So I've got the Express medium. There it is. So we'll just pop the Express medium on there. 7:30 AM there. Well, morning streams then. Quick question. Do Games Workshop send you stuff randomly? What I mean is, do you know what's coming first? I do know what's coming. They send me an email telling me what's coming that week. And then it arrives. And then I plan it in. How is Lariel doing? I'm sure she's doing very well. How did the speed paints fare after being left overnight? That's an interesting one, Ewan. They were okay after being left overnight. I think the thing that's important to do is to do it all together scientifically. So I've got another set of bases. I've also got a couple of generic marines. So we're going to do a video where we paint black armored marines using contrast paints, speed paints, and Vallejo Xpress Colour, and we're going to see how it was, and we're going to make some conclusions based on how I paint miniatures with this style of paint, because that's the important thing, right? It's if I was to make videos, I'm not going to change the style of videos, because the whole thing is about, you know, doing the best I can with these style of paints. I'm not gonna just be like, you know, rush this one out by just putting these paints over it. Jobs are good, because fundamentally that's not useful to you guys. If I do a how to paint Blood Angels, it's like, well, what do you need to do? Paint the armor red, paint the joints black, paint the gun black, paint the bits silver, paint them gold, and you're done. If you need me to make a video for that, you know, I can make that in about 60 seconds. So the whole point of this is to push paints as far as it can possibly go. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that these things are the right thing for that, for how I paint miniatures. I made 3 steps, Hirsch Hugo. I'm just going to call you Hugo. I did 3 things on Alarielle and then I had to stop. Because I had to do Strike Force Augustus. Freaky Deaky's painting the Centurion Marshal. That's a cracking model. I need to get a hold of one. I want to put one into my Slaves to Darkness. Behold! Xpress Colour. Here it is. So we have every single Express colour except for Nuclear Yellow. That's the only one we don't have. We're going to be testing them all out today. Same format. We've got bases. They've been primed in White Scar this time. Because I don't have a Vallejo primer. So I just went with White Scar. I figured that was sensible. But we do have Imperial Yellow. So we do have at least one. I just can't find Nuclear Yellow anywhere. I tried. I was looking to overnight it and everything on Thursday and Friday. And it's just unavailable. Most sites, they'll say things like, these are out of stock. And then on Nuclear Yellow, it just says unavailable. So once I can get a hold of it, I will do something with it. We'll do an addendum to this stream. But yeah, unfortunately, that's the only paint that we don't have. We are going to require this. And this. Watching House of the Dragon. Nice. Alright, shall we get started, guys? As always, do leave a like on the stream if you've got a like to donate. We'd love to get to 50 likes. That would be awesome. It lets YouTube know we're doing a good time, and other people will find the stream that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop these all out of the way, and I'm just going to grab them at random. And we're going to see how it goes. It's a super exciting stage where I'm just moving stuff out of the way. So we've got 22 paints to try out. Been using dwarf flesh, really good flesh paint that. I think it's better than Guilliman flesh. And that's awesome, Lord Wedge. Is it better than Fireslayer flesh though? Because that's my favourite one. Alright. The first colour I think we should use is the one closest to me. And that is going to be Velvet Red. Seems appropriate. Now these don't come with an exciter in them. See, everything's red for me again. Is the stream alright, guys? Or is it a little bit shaky? Like, you can see everything, right? How often are you having to change your brushes? I pretty much once every sort of 3 or 4 months. I pick up some new Citadel ones. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Let me just pop you on there. Let me just try something. I might go and turn my internet on and off. Ah, we're green at last. Okay. No. Red again. Yellow. Red. Orange. Red. Green. Okay. I'm going to do this first one. So this first one is Velvet Red, and then I might just restart the internet box. Because this is going to be really annoying otherwise. Alright. Velvet Red. This is a really nice colour. What do you think of that, guys? That's velvet red. I'm a big fan of that. Right, next colour. Let's do plasma red. Does it flow well? It flows pretty well. Yeah. I'm into it. The thing I like about these is that they're sealed with that orange. So if you add these to your other Vallejo paints, you can easily pick it out because of the orange. Alright, next up, we got plasma red. There it is. This is a much brighter red than before. Ooh. Now that's a colour. I mean, I like that velvet red. That's kind of your Flesh Tearers red. This is more your Blood Angels red right here. Red traditionally being a somewhat difficult colour to get right. I feel like painting these, they're acting a lot more like Citadel's contrast paints. I mean, all of these things kind of apply the same way. Conspiracy theory, it's all just the same. Well, we know that all these paints are not created equal. There you go, that's plasma red. I like that a lot. That's a sick colour. Do we have any more reds? What's that? Cardinal purple. I mean, it looks red. Let's go with that. Oh no. Okay, got a tiny little bit of red on that one. Never mind. So there we go. Cardinal purple's up next. That's what we're going to do. There's cardinal purple. Maybe this is more of a burgundy. Let's see. Just going to cover over this bit here. Okay, that's not the colour I was expecting at all. Appears to be doing a pretty decent job of covering over these wider open spaces, which is good. It's a fairly consistent application as well. And I would of course expect these kind of deeper recesses down here to be easy to cover. I feel like it's staying wetter for a little bit longer than a contrast paint. Let's test that theory, shall we? Yeah, it appears to be. That's nice. It's very red with a touch of pink in there. I'm not sure what I'd ever use it for, but there's... I think maybe if you thinned that right down, it would be interesting. Interesting paint. Okay, when you put it next to the other two, it's very different. I'll grab those up for you in a little bit. We'll do 5. No. What's 22 divided by something even? Yeah, you could put it over scars. Something like that. It looks to me that the stream has stabilized somewhat. Four by 6 plus 1. What do you mean, Hallenbeck? 4 by 6. Oh. So do them in batches of 6 and then in 1 additional. You got my back. Stream's always got my back. 47 likes on the stream. That's amazing. If you guys have got a like to donate, please do. We're hoping to get to 50. That would be awesome. Next up, we have Deep Purple. I like that these are sealed, man. I'm putting about 3 or 4 droplets on the palette each time just to ensure that I've got enough paint. This one's going to be interesting. Deep purple. Let's start here. Oh my goodness me, that is a rich colour. Look at that, guys. I feel like that's the colour that Shaiish Purple wishes it was. It looks like, you know, in my videos, whenever I do Shaiish Purple and then you put Volupus Pink over the top. That's what this colour looks like. This one feels really easy to control. That's a really, really nice colour. I'm a big fan of that. Do we have more purples? That's blue. Omega blue, that kind of looks purple. We have Caribbean turquoise, Black Lotus. Oh, gloomy violet, smoke green, storm blue, green, brown, yellow. Right, we'll do that one next. And we'll do Omega blue maybe after that. It does, doesn't it? Like on the Infernal Master. I think I did that. Shaiish Purple and the Volupus Pink. I think that's how I did that one. So there you go, guys. That is Deep Purple. It's a great name for a paint. And interestingly, since we started the stream, Velvet Red is still drying. So it's a long dry time at the moment. So the next one we're going to do is Gloomy Violet. Yeah, so it's been drying for about 15 minutes, I would say. 57 likes on the stream, you guys are bosses. Three drops should be enough. a decent period of stability there. Now it's back to red. There's nothing I can do. It's probably just the internet being silly in this area. We have Gloomy Violet up next. That's our next colour. That's not bad. I like that a lot. There's your Luxion purple. That's your Gloomy Violet. Oh, William, you're very kind. Thank you. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm just gonna edit something. One moment. I was just trying to help the stream stabilize a little bit, because 31.5% drop frames is really bad. It's really good coverage, Jake. Goes on pretty smoothly. It's got that opportunity for it's got that, because it seems to stay wetter a little bit longer. You've got a longer window for mopping up, which is interesting. Give me a few minutes, guys. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go and check the router and see what's going on. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to pop you onto this screen here. And we're back. It's much steadier now. I shall turn it down just a little bit then, Andrew. Is that better? There we go. All right. The next one is Omega Blue. Giving a painting lesson into Club. So the next paint is Omega Blue. No, it is a really nice blue. Ewan, I'm holding fire on sharing that. That's Velvet Red. That is an awesome Crimson Fist recipe, actually. Hey, nice. 69 likes. You guys. Jamie, hey, great stuff, Warhipster. Really enjoying this whilst getting some painting done. Oh, I'm glad. There you go. That's a really cool blue. That is Omega Blue. No, Ewan, it means that I had some conversations. I did see this rock golem. Thank you so much for that super chat. That's very, very kind of you. If you're still here, we were experiencing some technical difficulties. Oh, yeah, we need to do the first 6. They're pretty matte, Ewan. They're not fully dry yet, though. So here we have Velvet Red. So there's Velvet Red, Plasma Red, Cardinal Purple, Deep Purple, Gloomy Violet, and Omega Blue. These are our first 6 colours. Velvet Red, Plasma Red, Cardinal Purple, Deep Purple, Dreamy Violet, Gloomy Violet, and Omega Blue. You'd think I'd be able to remember all of the names, given that it's a much smaller product range. Celestium Blue, that's a great question. I think Celestium Blue is a bit darker. So we're going to do our next one. Mystic Blue. Plasma Red is almost orange. It's like thinned down Blood Angels Red. Next up we have Mystic Blue. See, that 100% looks like Powerade. But there's your, like, Talisar blue equivalent. You know what it seems to do quite a good job of? Like, not just leaving the odd spot here or there. Like, if you go a bit too heavy, as I've done on this side, just here, you can see that it's all collected on that one side. It's a really nice colour. And that's Mystic Blue. Let's do this turquoise next. Yeah. Caribbean turquoise. Mystic Blue would be quite good for Emperor's Spears. Yeah, I would see that. Alright, Caribbean turquoise up next. Tom, the first one is still drying, and we've been streaming for an hour, and we've been recording for 46 minutes. So for 45 minutes, it's still drying in places. Well, hello there, Pterodon turquoise. That's a really nice colour. I feel like the application of these is really nice. I get a kind of sense of confidence about them. This feels quite familiar using it, you know? One thing I will say is these Xpress colours, they don't taste bad. There you go, Caribbean turquoise. I think the smoothness of the application is about the same, but because that drying time is longer, you've got more of an opportunity to sort of catch errant blobs. What's that? Space grey, lizard green, Templar white, wasteland brown, dwarf skin, snake green. Ah, storm blue. Let's do storm blue. Alright. Storm blue up next. It's the most important things, right? There's your Ultramarines blue equivalent. That goes on a lot cleaner than Ultramarines blue. That felt a little bit easy to use. There's your Storm Blue. It's a nice colour, that one. "76 likes, 24 away from 100. If you've got a like to give, please do donate it to the channel. It's free! If you'd like to become a member, you can. You can go to a YouTube membership. If you'd like to head to Patreon, you can. Patreon.com/Warhipster. But leaving a like is absolutely a great way to support the channel. Alright, we're going to do snake green next. with your left hand after hitting your head. I can try and paint it with my left hand. This is going to feel weird. This is really weird. It's quite a bizarre sensation. I've never done this before. It doesn't even feel like I'm doing it. It feels like I'm watching someone else do it. Oh. Oh, that was horrible. It's quite a nice Sons of Horus colour, that. It's a little bit warm. It's closer to Eldari Emerald than anything else. Now can you highlight with your left hand? Mark, don't make me do it, please. Is that something you'd like to see, me try and paint a miniature left-handed from start to finish? I could try. That could be a fun stream. Try and paint a Space Marine left-handed. Try some eyeballs like that. I will look like the meme. Oh, that made me feel weird doing that. Oh man. Maybe I'll do a video teaching myself to paint left-handed. I'll get Alice to teach me how to do it left-handed. Yeah, lots of time to correct with my actual dominant hand. Lizard green we're going to do next. My paint water is going a really lovely colour. Alright, lizard green. Ooh. Well, would you look at that? Only some lizards were harmed in the making of this paint. I'm a fan. That's 5. Which one do you want next, guys? Do you want troll green, plague green, or orc skin? Next super chat decides. Slimy YouTube behavior. Get that proper, like, yo, let's see some donations up in here. I was watching something the other night of just like people were just like flipping out on stream. And it was really funny. Yeah, which one do you want? Troll green, plague green, or orc skin? Let me know. Answers on a postcard. Josk comes in. Or Yosk? Yeah, there we go. 3 votes for plague green. Easy. Easy decision. No, Vallejo didn't send me these. I bought them, yeah. I bought them because Army Painter sent me the Speed Paint 2.0, and I've just been meaning to get hold of these for so long. And I think now that we've got what I would call the big 3 have got a range, it's a good time to compare them all the time. I think the other one is it scale 52, scale 75, whatever they're called? They've got one. But yeah, I know I bought these. because, you know, I want to make the best content for you guys. Chaz Stewart. Bony Matter. You want to see Bony Matter again? We can do Bony Matter again. Thank you so much for the 5, man. That's very kind of you. Alright. Oh no, we need a base. Let's go with this one. Next up, Plague Green. I think Death Guard fans, you can rejoice. This is a lovely colour. I can see pretty colours in my corner vision in the chat. I will look up in just a moment. Look at that. Oh, Gloomspite Noob, that's very, very kind of you. Thank you for the 5 gifted. MC Van White Week, the Almighty Sarlacc Grimgar, Meg, Laurent B. Congratulations. I will go and dig Bony Matter out of the box in a bit for you. Green Stuff World dipping inks as well. Yeah, no, I can pick those up too. PD Ostrander. Thank you so much. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you. Just coming in here with the big donations. Dude, you are always so, very, very, very kind. You're amazing. Thank you. That's the Xpress Colour set pretty much paid for. Do you want them? There you go, that's Plague Green. Oh, honestly, thank you. Your generosity is overwhelming, man. You guys. Exceptionally, exceptionally kind of you. Best group in the world. And look at that, we've got 92 likes as well. Oh. I'm going to get emotional. Oh. So here's our next 6. Mystic Blue. I am getting emotional. Mystic Blue, Caribbean Turquoise, Storm Blue, Snake Green, Lizard Green, and Plague Green for all of you guys to behold. You can just see an update on the previous 6 as well. So there's our Velvet Red. There's our Plasma Red. There's our Cardinal Purple. There's our Deep Purple. There's our Gloomy Violet. And there's our Omega Blue as well. That's the first 12. Would you say they look a lot different on camera from IRL? No. No, they look pretty similar. I've white balanced it so that it looks about the right. Is the dry time similar to contrast? No, Will, it's longer. So this is Velvet Red, and that's the first one we did an hour and 23 minutes ago, and it's still drying a little bit in the corners, in the recesses. I don't know how well you can see that. So yeah, they have a little bit of a longer drying time. So yeah, that's the first 6. First 12. So let's get on with the next 12, shall we? We can actually just pop these on the side here. Can we get some love in the chat for Mr. Ostrander for being super generous? It's things like that that make doing these streams just really kind of overwhelming for me. The generosity and the kindness of strangers. Although we're not strangers, are we? Because we're all friends here. I have sprayed them with White Scar Virus of Nurgle. What was asked for next? Was it Orc Skin? Plague Green, Plague Green, Plague Green. Troll, Hallenbeck. Alright, Troll Green it is. Troll Green, yeah. We're having some really dodgy connection issues at this end. I'm doing my best to get through it. I've reset the router once. I've turned every other device off. Apart from that, there's nothing else I can do. Other than demand that Virgin give me my money back. Hey, 100 likes. Way. Oh. Hey. So there's Troll Green. You can come over here, Troll Green. This is Troll Green, in case the stream is still being funny. Got a little bit heavy there in places, so we'll just wick some of that off. There we go. AJR, thank you so much for the 10. That is very, very kind of you. Grumpy Gaming. I'm not entirely sure when you can get in the States. You might be able to already get them. I would assume that the Speed Paint 2.0s will be releasing in the States first. You should be able to pre-order them now. Have you showed Mystic Blue and Plasma Red? I have. Here is Plasma Red and here is Mystic Blue. This one's this one's Plasma Red and this one's Mystic Blue. I'm joking, it's the other way around. I'm very impressed with it as well, Bombhead Brian. It's nice. That's a nice colour. I'm impressed with this range. So we've got our last green here. Orc Skin. There it is. Okay, here we go. So, Orc Skin up next. Now that is a really nice colour. Good morning, Eric. Mr. Sandman is here. Everybody give a shout out to Mr. Sandman. If you don't already, give him a subscribe on YouTube. His full name, Sandman40k, rather than Mr. Sandman. If you search for Mr. Sandman, you'll get something completely different. If you look for Sandman40k on YouTube, you can give him a follow. He makes some really good shorts, and he's a good dude. And yes, I am excited to see the same things. One of the things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a... Jake, if you're still here, it's the Kraken Eaters or the Kraken Hunters. It's black and purple Space Marines. I'm going to be doing a black and purple Space Marine in contrast, speed paint, and express colour. And we're just going to paint how I would paint, and we'll see what the final result is. I'm not going to bend to what the paint does. I'm just going to paint how I would paint. I'll just leave things to dry. Once it's dry, I will go over the top of it. Did these come with any metals? No, I don't have any metals, and they haven't got metallic strangers and metallic contrast paints. There you go. Kim and Actual Size TV say, Kim Schrader, I should say that you can get these from US distribution now. So there you go. That, my friends, was Orc Skin. Alright, what have we got left? I'm going to give you some choices, guys. Copper Brown, Imperial Yellow, Wasteland Brown, Dwarf Skin, Templar White, Black Lotus, Martian Orange, and Space Grey. It could be Forge Father Vulcan. There's a couple of different series I want to do. So I've just filmed a classic versus contrast versus classic for Blood Angels. And that's just with Citadel paints. Contrast plus, how we do things, and classic Citadel paints. It might be that we are able to do another one of Vallejo versus Speed Paint versus Contrast. They are available now in the UK, yep. You can buy them, you just got to find them. I got mine from Firestorm Games. The only one they didn't have was Nuclear Yellow, and everywhere else I looked, they didn't have Nuclear Yellow, so I can't find it. So we will get it. Dwarf Skin was the first request, then Templar White, then Yellow, then Black Lotus. Alright. What was it? Dwarf Skin. So do Dwarf Skin, Templar White, Black Lotus, Yellow, and then Black Lotus. And then you can mull over your choices for Martian Orange, Copper Brown, Wasteland Brown, Space Grey shortly. Alright. Dwarf Skin. Do these have reactivation issues like AP speed paints? We don't know yet in a bag. We're going to test it once we've done all of the paints. It gives them perfect amount of time to dry, and it'll have been about 2 hours since the first one was done, and that'll be when we test it. And we'll test it the same way we tested it on Thursday. Dwarf Skin, or as this is misspelt, Dwarf Skin. F. F's in the chat for Dwarf Skin, but Dwarf Skin is how it's supposed to be. So I've been putting about 3 drops on the palette each time. It probably doesn't need that. I'm just making sure, because I'm not really au fait with using dropper bottles. I obviously just take things out on a brush load. I'm used to that. Right, Dwarf Skin. It's a nice flash paint. I guess in some ways it does mean that because I've now got, well, if I get nuclear yellow plus 49 speed paints, 60, $73. 73 paints. It's a lot of Space Marines. There's dwarf skin. There's dwarf skin. Or rather, dwarf skin as it should be. What do you think of that skin? Show you one more time. It's a nice flesh paint, that one. Do you know which a paint that none of the ranges have is a really kind of pinky flesh, like a ruddy cheeked flesh. Let's go with this. You know, someone who's been heavily drinking. All right. Next up, Templar White. I do see why you like that for skin, Lord Wedge. It's a nice paint. Templar White. Nice skin. Alright, Templar White. Wow me. I think that's a really nice white. I missed Storm Blue, didn't I? Yes, you did, Eric, but don't worry. It's right here. As good or better than the contrast skin tones? I'd say it's as good. I'd say, you know, that's a really nice flesh, Fire Slayer flesh. Equivalent. Fire Slayer flesh is my favorite of the three flesh paints. It kind of feels like it's kind of a mix between Fire Slayer and Dark Oath flesh, which is an interesting one, but it is one that's missing from the contrast range. Is that step between? Gilliman flesh is a lot paler than that, so if you want a paler skin, you know, you would have to just thin this down. But what do you think of Templar White? That's nice. That's like Apothecary White. It's good. It's good. That's good stuff. I like it. It's yellow time, baby. Let me just move these out of the way. Storm blue, very much Ultramarines blue. A really nice equivalent for that. Alright, next up, Imperial Yellow. Sadly, we don't have Nuclear Yellow. Asnik, I'm always going to do Contrast Plus. I'm never going to not do it. So you don't have to worry about like opening up a video for a new model and it being, hey, welcome to the video. We're now going to use insert paint here from different range. You'll always be able to, it'll always be a Speed Paint Plus. Not Speed Paint Plus, Contrast Plus. Is it back up? Okay, we should be back. Excellent. So what I was saying was Contrast Plus never going away. However, what we will do is things like Space Marine chapters and stuff like that. We will cover recipes from both the other ranges if they are appropriate. So that's the next thing I need to do is figure out, do these paints work for how we paint here on the channel? Yeah. So here we go. Imperial Yellow. One of the things a friend of mine constantly talks about is, to him, yellow is like the old Games Workshop golden yellow. And that's one of the things I look for with these yellow paints, is whether or not it looks like that old golden yellow. And Craig, if you're watching, this looks like golden yellow to me. It's nice. It's a less saturated version of Yandan Yellow, but there's a little bit more saturation in there than Imperial Fist. So there you go. Imperial Yellow. Let's pop you there. See you later, Rock Golem. Have a good one, buddy. So next up we have Black Lotus. The question I have is, does this look like Black Templar or Black Legion? Because Black Legion for me is the GOAT right now. And it looks a lot more like Black Templar. Which isn't a bad thing, per se. So that's Black Templar again. There's Black Lotus. It's not bad. It's a good version of Black Templar, I will say that. But it ain't Black Legion. So you can review the last 6. So here's Black Lotus, here's Imperial Yellow, Troll Green, Orc Skin, Dwarf Skin, and Templar White. I really like them, Jack. I think they're really cool. Yeah, see, Black Legion is the GOAT of all of these for black. Because the thing with black is, like, I think as soon as you start to introduce a highlight color to these one coat solutions, you end up being a dark gray. What's the darkest green? Any that would be good for Dark Angels? Lizard green is the darkest green, which would be alright for Dark Angels. We need to test it over Wraithbone, maybe. Or shade that down with a bit of extra green. Maybe a second layer of that would get it really close. There's not like a Caliban green, Dark Angels green equivalent. Troll green looks like it would be good for striking scorpions or salamander. Yeah, no, it does. It does look excellent. Do you know what? Because we've only got 23 paints, we should be able to get all of these on camera at the end before we test the reactivation. In the same way that I did the speed paint. There was a comment on one of my videos saying that that wasn't a realistic test. Because you would never apply medium to a painted miniature. Apart from all those times that I do it for wet blending and applying decals, things like that. There's quite a few instances where you would apply medium to a miniature. I feel like it's a pretty scientific test. Apply medium, see if it comes off. Alright guys, we've got 4 more to do. 6, 12, 18, 22. Space Grey. We have Wasteland Brown. And we have Copper Brown. And we have Martian Orange. Which one would you like to see next? You have your choices. You've got 4 choices. First person to drop choice, you'll get it. Or drop a super chat. Space Grey, Wasteland Brown, Copper Brown, Martian Orange. Landmaster of Lancaster says orange. So orange it shall be, sir. Mark also says orange. 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 That is a beautiful orange. Now that's the best orange I've seen from these. Because Griffhound orange is a little too cold and Magmadroth orange is a little too hot. That sits perfectly in the middle. What are they called? No, not Cronus Hegemony. The orange Leagues of Votan. That's your paint right there. It's a lovely paint. Alright. I'm going to do Copper Brown next. copper brown. Alright, here we go. Copper brown. That's a really nice brown. You know what? This would be ideal for some like horse flesh. Oop. That's a nice brown. I like that a lot. It's a slightly colder version of Gore Grunter fur there. Copper brown. It's coppery. Alright. Next up, we're going to do the other brown, Wasteland Brown. The stream crashed again. Should be back up. Alright, next up, Wasteland Brown. It absolutely could land Master of Lancaster. There's Wasteland Brown. Oh, I'm not. I mean, the tone of that colour makes me feel uncomfortable. That's like snakebite leather, that one. Alright, Adam. How are you, sir? So that one is Wasteland Brown. We've got one more. Last one is Space Grey. Just 2 hours into the end of the death, and here's all the spoilers. Space Grey. That's interesting. Feels closer to Griffcharge Grey, that one. I thought for sure that was going to be Space Wolves Grey. But it ain't. But there you go. So, let's get these all on camera, shall we? Space Grey, Wasteland Brown, Copper Brown, and Orange. Martian Orange. There you go. I don't think so, Bombhead Brian. You could probably use any kind of shade over the top. The main thing is what you put underneath it. So there you have Space Grey, Wasteland Brown, Copper Brown, and Martian Orange. So let's. I'm just going to do this with you. You can put them all on camera if we can. So there's Space Grey. We'll put Wasteland Brown there. And we'll put Copper Brown there. Martian Orange there. Next up we have Velvet Red. Hello, Mr. Gwatkin. Testing's going very well. I really like these colours. I really like these paints. They apply really nicely. Cardinal Purple. Next up we have Deep Purple. Gloomy Violet. Omega Blue. We have Mystic Blue. I'm going to finish posting the pictures of the army painter stuff on. Snake green. Then we have lizard green. Then we have plague green. We have orc skin. Troll green. Imperial yellow. And Black Lotus. And we have dwarf skin. And finally, we have Templar white. I'll just pop this out of the way. Oh no, hang on. If I just... do that, and then move myself out of the way. Behold! No, there's not. It's a much less aggressive pullback. They were somewhat easier to apply. I didn't feel like it was going to go shrinking away. It's a really nice little range. It's missing some big ones. There's no like grey, like Basilicanum grey. There's no bone. You'd have to achieve that by thinning things down. So Templar white is less grey than contrast. Yeah, there's a little bit more blue in there. It's closer to... it's quite close to Apothecary white, but it's a little bluer. It's a nice colour. That's Templar white. So let me know if there's any you'd like me to pick up and shove down the camera. We're just going to keep hanging out. So we've been recording for 2 hours. So you know what that means. The original paints should be dry. Which means we can test them for reactivation in just a moment. It's a really nice little colour range. The only slight issue is that it's not quite big enough. I haven't got nuclear yellow, obviously. But that should be 6, 12, 18... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 14, 21, 22, 23... plus a medium is 24. I feel like they're missing about 6 paints. So there's a grey, a bone, a slightly darker green, another flesh colour. I'd really like a really kind of reddy flesh, and another slightly darker purple. I feel like that would really just complete the range in terms of the... Oh, and I suppose you've a couple more browns as well, actually. But then a bone, I guess, is another brown. How does the dark red compare to GW Flesh Terror's red? I think it looks pretty nice. It's got that kind of more muted colour. It's the first one we did, so that's the one we're going to test for reactivation in just a moment. The orange is really nice. The yellow is nice. Orc skin is lovely. I really like Storm Blue. I'm a big fan of Omega Blue. I think Deep Purple's great. Hello 1814. It's very kind of you. Thank you very much for the $4.99. Did I say Dark Angel's Greed? Are you mocking me, sir? Or am I now mocking you inadvertently? And like a proper pink. Cardinal purple is nice. It's not like pink. So where I think this is really useful, as it being quite a light range, is if you are, say, I think somebody earlier was saying about doing Emperor's Spears. Pick up Mystic Blue. That was short sorts for your armor, but then you can just go elsewhere for the other colours. Oh, so I was inadvertently mocking you, Lord Wedge. I'm very sorry. I also like the idea of Dark Angel's Greed. Okay, so Velvet Red. You've been drying for quite some time. So it's time to test you for reactivation. And we're going to do exactly like we did in the speed paint video. So I'm just going to move these out of the way. Because it's been drying now for about 2 hours. Maybe a little bit less. Cardinal purple. Do you ever just get an itch that if you don't scratch, it feels like you're going to die? Troll green. Which blue for World Eaters 30k shoulder pads out of these? Mystic Blue. Alright. Reactivation test. We're going to put a drop of this, and we're going to wait a couple of seconds, and then we're going to run our brush through it. Oop. Missed. Just going to pop it there. I'm actually nervous. I really hope these don't reactivate. We can't do this in silence. Why did the music have to end at this point? Okay, so there's a little bit of rubbing there from where I've applied my heaviest pressure. But on those darkest patches, that's not coming up. Test with another colour over it. Okay. Well, over the top of this? Yeah, right. Yeah, so I've just run my thumb over that. And we've got a little bit of it coming off on the side there. What colour should I put over it? Purple. Doesn't come up under the colour at all. So if I rub it with my finger really hard, a little bit is coming off. So I would suggest that where it's come off on those corners, that's because I've... The thing to check right here, see in the middle? That paint's all still there. So right on the edges is where it's come off because I've rubbed it quite vigorously. Under the paint it hasn't come off at all. So based on that, I would say they don't really reactivate. That was a friction. Good stuff, Vallejo. Excellent paint. Shall I see now if I can get that purple off? Where's the medium? God, I put this place through some abuse. There we go. Got it. Now, bearing in mind these have got a longer drying time, I would expect that behaviour. I haven't tried reactivation on AP a couple of days later. I've decided I'm going to do it in an email. Email? Video. There's a proper video that's coming. No unexpected features then. No. That's what I would expect from... So, like... This is a base I did with some Black Legion the other day. And if I... It's a wet brush. If I apply some really quite heavy pressure with the brush, you can see it does the same thing. It starts to come off at the edges. There you go. So that's just like a friction rub. I'm pressing quite hard here. There, see? So I would expect that behavior, but for the main body of it to still be on there, I would expect some like light rubbing, which is what we've got there. That's very good. Expected behavior, I like it. That's all right, Roger. You wake up whenever you want to. It's a Sunday. Sup, Laurent? Not much. Just chilling out with some Vallejo. So, Carabao Cup final is in about 30 minutes. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with this range. I think it's missing quite a lot. So Xpress Colour doesn't fully replace contrast. Nothing will for me. But you can't replace contrast fully with Xpress Colour because there's only 23 paints and a medium. You're missing quite a few colours. So there's a lot to be very positive about here. And again, I will conduct further testing, just as I will on the Army Painter. They are behind by 2 years, and I think that is testament to Vallejo wanting to get it absolutely spot on, which is why we've got such a small range. Really good job. It's nice. I will post pictures of everything again on Instagram. Have you? Chewy, does yours say Ronaldo on the back? Because mine sure does. Sue! Predictions? I'm going to say 2-0 Man United. Well, see, this is the thing, right? With the reactivation issue. I now have to paint a miniature with each range how I would paint a miniature for it to be fully accurate. So we'll see. My initial impressions are, though, that it's pretty good. Good stuff. Well done, Vallejo. I like it. Mountain Dew. I was laughing to myself the other day because I was like, when I die, can I be buried in an open casket? And can I just have 2 of my contrast base applied over my eyes? This is the thing, Adam. One thing I will give Vallejo, they made the best tasting range by far. Well, yes, I am dead, Hallenbeck, but I will be haunting. I'll be haunting all of my loved ones. Pennies for the, rather than pennies for the ferryman. We have contrast painted bases for the hobbyman. Is it impossible to have a metallic contrast or metallic-like? Well, this is the thing. This is the big question. Yeah, no. Yeah, don't taste the paint. I should just clarify. Don't do it. Don't. It's non-toxic, but don't do it. Is it impossible to have a metallic contrast? The thing for me is, if Games Workshop haven't managed to figure it out yet, I don't know if it is. And that might be because of the way Games Workshop makes metallic paints. But I suspect it's because you've got heavier pigment when it comes to the metallic bits. So what you don't want to happen with a metallic contrast paint is for all of those heavy pigments to flow into the recesses. So you get a metallic recess, but then you just get a gloss covered flat. Which is what I suspect is what Games Workshop have tried with metallic contrast paints, and it hasn't worked because of the way they make contrast paints and the way they make metallic paints. I don't know how Army Painter does it. They looked very glossy, and there was a bit of metallic about them. They definitely look like metallic paints, but the pullback from the edge means it has white edges. It wasn't a metallic edge. So it wasn't quite a metallic contrast paint in a way. It was more like a heavily pigmented metallic wash. So you've got all of that metallic on the flat surface and in the recess, but on the edge it was white from the base coat, which isn't a metallic edge. Because what you want is you want it to look like Lead Belcher. You want it to look like Iron Warriors in the darkest places, Lead Belcher on the main body of the metallic bit, and Stormhost Silver or Iron Breaker on the edge. And the problem is how do you get that metallic consistency all the way through because of the heaviness of metallic pigment? So I don't know how possible it is. But who knows? Who knows what the future holds? I mean, we can just sit and chill out for a little while, guys. 10-15 minutes. Does the contrast paint dilute with water, or can I use directly from the pot? Water has a habit of separating pigments in contrast paints. So, because what you have in contrast paints is you have a heavily pigmented, heavy section of the paint, which is what runs into the recesses. You then have the other one, which is your lighter section, which is the thing that covers the flat surfaces. So because you've got two different pigments in there, you're going to get different flow. Then depending on the chemical mixture that you have, depends on how much it starts to pull back from those edges. So contrast paint does it, but doesn't do it as violently as Army Painter does. In that respect, the speed paints do a really good job of applying the highlight line. These ones sort of do it. They're more like contrast paints. They've got a similar kind of highlight line. But you notice how, like, on... Let's have a look at... let's have a look at the screen. Absolutely, Tom. Whatever you want next. So you see... Let me grab a precise detail. So the thing with this... You see how you've got the dark pigment in around that rivet there. That's the darkest heavy pigment. Similarly, you've got it in this recess around this section. What you have on the edge here is a brighter green. When you have quite aggressive pulling, so when that action, when it pulls into the recesses and tightens up on the flat, it shows through more white, and if that happens too much, it becomes more of a white pigment. It becomes more of a white color, which isn't a bad thing per se, but it might not necessarily be what you're after. So what this does is this doesn't have quite as an aggressive pull, squeezing motion. It doesn't pull back from the edges too much, but you can see it in action here on this is Orc Skin, as mentioned. Dark pigment in there. This is the pigment of the paint, and that's where it's pulled back from the edge. That's the technology that's on display. So when you have a metallic because you've got much heavier pigment in there, the heavy ends up in here. You have the actual colour, and then you end up with a kind of much whiter look there rather than a silver or gold or a copper or a bronze or brass or whatever. Does that make sense? Could we test a couple of these over a metallic base? Yeah, we will. I don't have any. I will do what it looks like for all of this, I promise. But as you can see, it takes 2.5 hours to do 20, to just paint 22 bases. Which colours do you want to see, Tom? Roger Nilsson, what are your next projects? Next projects, I cannot tell you about. I'm currently working on my Grand Army of Chaos. So my personal thing is I've got a Khorne Demons Combat Patrol, and I've got Sinessa, Talon of Slanesh. You want to see black, and you want to see Plague Green. That one is Plague Green, and that one is black. Alright, there's black. There's Plague Green. And there's orange. What do you think? Yeah? Happy? Likes on the stream, super chats in the stream, YouTube memberships, Patreon. Tell me I'm pretty. Validate me, YouTube. That green and orange is nice. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what I like? This is a combination. So that's lizard green and orange. Can't remember what it's called. For those of you looking to paint a football team in the colours of the Green Bay Packers, there's your green and your gold. Martian orange, yes, Adam. Thank you. So yeah, the black looks like grey. It's got a slightly bluer tint. It's like Black Templar. If you've used Black Templar, you know what this looks like. Black Lotus. Woo. Do you have any favourites out of them? Vorancy. I really like Mystic Blue. I'm a big fan of orange. I like this flesh. I like this orc skin. And I really like that purple. So orc skin, dwarf skin. I've forgotten it again. Martian orange. Deep purple. And Mystic Blue. Those are my 4 favourites. Yeah, I wish I had nuclear yellow as well. Vallejo, if you're watching, can you send me a pot of nuclear yellow so I can test it? I'll do a live stream all about nuclear yellow, I promise. Also, Vallejo, if you're watching, can you send me the rest of the Vallejo paints range? Because I'm poor and I can't afford it. To be clear, Vallejo didn't send me these, I bought these. Those are my 5 favourites. I like them a lot. Woo. I was chatting to my brother the other day, and I was painting one of these Harakoni Warhawks. I just finished. I was chatting to him. I finished it, and I went, "Oh, okay, cool." And I just pulled out and just went like that. And he was like, "What? Why would you do that?" And you're probably all thinking that at home. And I was just like, "Because it's fine. It's absolutely fine." I didn't smash it down. I just threw it out the pot. Reckless Warhammer. Does anyone want to see any other colours close up? You want to see the purples again? So that's deep purple. And that one's gloomy violet. This one's cardinal purple. It's got a pinkish tone to it. You really see it when you compare it with plasma and velvet red. They seem to stain much less than contrast paints. I think they stain about the same. It's just the way that I paint. What they are good at is they have a longer drying time than contrast paints, so you can get in there and just pull off the excess a little bit better, a little bit quicker. You got a longer window for opportunity. Any colour's good for black or dark armour. Sorry if I missed it. I just joined. That middle-aged life. This is the black, so it's like Black Templar. So it might be that you have to put that, being Black Lotus, over the top of probably that one. That one being Omega Blue, to get it really dark. None of them have got a Black Legion equivalent. There's no Black Legion being the GOAT. You could probably put that over the top of the deep purple as well. They all seem to sit around about the same kind of brightness of tone. There's nothing that goes like super dark, like Leviathan Blue or Shaiish Purple. Or indeed, oh, excuse me, Basilicanum Grey. But there we go. Guys, it is 4:15. The Carabao Cup final is imminent, and I wish to watch it. So, I hope you enjoyed this one. There will be more testing. There will be a comparison, and I will give you my final thoughts on both Speed Paint 2.0 and Vallejo Xpress. Those videos will be coming either this coming week or next week. It depends on how much I get done tonight/tomorrow. For those of you asking on Thursday about Captain Messinius, he's arrived, he's built. I haven't primed him. I'm going to do that after the game. But I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for the super chats. Welcome to our 5 new members. My new members, if you would like to join the Discord, you can. You have a link on the page. You can go and check out the perks so you can get access to the Warhipster Discord where we chat about all things Warhammer. And I'm sure some of the members in the chat will tell you how much of an awesome Discord it is. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all very, very, very soon for a video. There will be one out tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday. And I think Thursday as well. Philip Gomez, thank you so much for the 19.99 right there at the end. You're such a boss. Oh, I feel like I have to stick around for a little bit longer, but I really want to go and watch the football. Thank you so much for watching, guys. You're all legends. I love you. Keep being kick-ass people. Happy Wargame 1 and all. You guys are amazing. I love you. Farewell!